everybody. Welcome to the eagerly anticipated second episode of the Flibbleanddribble podcast. Today we also have Kieran again today. Say hello.
Hello.
Now, firstly, before we get started, we cannot apologise enough for the absolute mess last week. We initially recorded an episode on Monday that didn't go very well. It went fine. We had a guest on. It went great. And then it didn't go great. All of the recording was out, and we recorded about an hour and a half, and it didn't quite work. But we didn't want to let you down, so then we recorded another episode on Thursday, just me and Kieran, and we lost that recording as well. So it was about 2.5. I lost that recording. So yeah, without further ado, let's get in to some FA Cup action.
So we started off with Friday.
Oh, sorry.
We started with Friday, and it was, of course, the greatest team in the world versus Leicester.
I mean, the greatest team in the world is not how I would put it. I mean, I didn't watch the whole game. I'll be honest.
I did. I would rather forget the first half. I'm not going to lie.
Is there any direction under him? Do you think under the new manager?
What, Amorim?
Yeah.
I love him. Yeah, because he says what he wants to say. He's not like a sugarcoater. If he wants to tell you that you're absolutely awful at playing football and don't care about football, he will, and then ship you off to Aston Villa.
Who did he do that with?
No in particular players.
Speaking of him, though, Rashford, he played fantastic. He looked really good, to be fair. He looked like he'd found a bit of a spark in his step. You being robbed?
Nah.
No, but the FA Cup is just... Friday, obviously, there was the offside, and there's not a lot that can be done about it. I had this discussion with some of my friends the other day, and I don't understand why they don't use VAR in the FA Cup. And I get the argument that, if one ground doesn't have it, then no ground should have it.
That's literally the main discussion there.
Do you think that's a good argument, though?
Yeah, it's round 4, so there's still going to be smaller teams in there. Like, back in, 2 years ago, we had National League teams still in it. Like, we've still got Plymouth going to round 5.
Well, Doncaster in
Doncaster
round 4 and they're League 2.
I just think
they're the lowest.
If they were going to Plymouth in the next round, they're meant to just take VAR with them? Or to, pack it up in a bag and take it with them in a little backpack?
No, but my opinion is VAR is used in all of the best leagues in the world. And that's a fair statement to make. It's used in all of the leagues and the Premier League, of course. And the FA Cup is the most prestigious domestic cup competition in the world. No, nothing beats it. And so if you've got the highest level of officiating possible, use it. VAR is the top dog. VAR is the best. As much as people dislike it, it is the best. Either it wouldn't be being used still. They would just go back to normal officiating. But people moaned about the Maguire offside and moaned about whatever else happened this weekend in that VAR intervened with. But people forget, I think, that support Premier League clubs, how football was before VAR. That referees could make decisions wrong and then come out and have to apologise. With VAR, you can't get away with that now because if a decision is wrong, like an offside, which is not, it's not a one that needs discussing. It's either offside or it isn't. And Maguire was offside.
I have 3 things to say with what you just said.
Go on, fire away.
1, the Premier League is not currently the best league in the world.
Hold on. What?
The current best league in the world, I would say, from how close it is and how actually impactful the games are, La Liga at the moment.
No.
Barcelona, Atletico Madrid, Real Madrid. I said it in the correct order. I did. 48 points, 49 points, 50 points. At the weekend, Atletico Madrid and Real Madrid played each other. If one of them won, would be up to the top. They drew, keeping them 1 point apart from each other. That is currently the closest and best league in the world.
No, but see, this is the total. It's the total wrong argument you're making. You're confusing best for most entertaining.
No.
You are.
No, because
the Premier League has the best players. It has the most money. How is it not the best league in the world?
Because you said the most entertaining and the best.
Because the most entertaining league in the world is probably the Championship.
No, it's not. It's League One.
It's all the Championship. In like League One at the moment, there's like 8 teams tied on 45 points.
And there's Peterborough there as well.
But like, most entertaining and the best is totally different. Because if players play in the most entertaining league in the world, it doesn't mean they're going to make the most money.
They're going Saudi.
Yeah, exactly. Take that for an example. Saudi is not the best league in the world.
Not. But currently, as of the 10th of February 2025...
Oh my, that might be the worst take I've ever heard in my life.
That Leicester Man United game was so boring. 2 goals came from tap-ins after saves of a keeper. And the last goal was offside.
But overall, you were happy with the performance?
I was happy by the performance by about 4 players, yeah. Garnacho, Xerxes. Dorgu did alright for 20 minutes. Hopefully he improves, because he did just look... Every time Man United were defending, they'd be in the Leicester would be in the box, and I just still see him running down the wing, catching up.
Do you think they'll beat Fulham in the next round?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. Amram has a way of doing things that I think he will.
Yeah, also, he has a way of doing things. He plays the 3-4-3 and it doesn't work.
It's actually 3-4-2-1. But also, he's moved Manu and Fernandes around. He's swapped Manu and Fernandes around. So Fernandes has gone into the back 4. Not middle 4.
The back 4?
No.
Crikey. I know you're low on centre-backs, but... Jeez.
The middle 4. Shut up, Chesterfield fan. The middle 4 and move Manu up to the top 3. It's just weird, but kind of working.
It's a top 3. It's not a 2 and a 1. It's a top 3.
It's more. I'm more saying a 1 and a 2 some days. I've never seen him.
The fact that you can't even pin his tactic down shows that the tactic isn't working. Yeah, well, it's just gone a bit all over the place, hasn't it? We were talking about the FA Cup, and then we actually didn't talk about the FA Cup.
Okay, let's actually go to the FA Cup. Let's actually go to the FA Cup over result away from Man United.
I watched the Birmingham Newcastle game. That was another one that should have had VAR. Because that ball did not cross the line.
That's you know when I messaged you about something happened, it was that. And apparently there was a fight in the pub near where I was over that goal. Sorry,
I was in Birmingham before the game, and I was with a friend, and we were walking to a pub, and we walked in the pub, and we were like, "Why is it so busy?" And every single Newcastle fan in the world was just taking over the pub, and they were all drinking Newcastle Brown. It was really strange.
I know so many Geordies, and they literally swear by Newcastle Brown Ale.
Yeah, I can't say I've ever had it before, but I don't think it would be for me.
Big game to happen on Saturday. Leyton Orient Man City, which
what a goal!
Before the weekend, that was a Man City win, wasn't it? Before the actual game happened, that was a Man City win, move on.
Yeah, it was nailed on, really.
But honestly, I watched the highlights of the game, and Man City shouldn't have won.
Leyton Orient were quality.
Man City shouldn't have won that game.
I don't know, actually. I don't even know if it was Leyton Orient being quality or just Man City just being downright terrible. But I think it was probably a bit of both.
That's what I've got to say about that game.
But, goodness me, the balls to hit that from the halfway line. What a bloke. Like, build him a statue in Leyton Orient. Like, do it. Where even is Leyton Orient? Does anyone know?
I'm not. I don't know that.
It sounds like it's on a train line.
Okay, we're going to move on from that topic from there. Then we're going to also go to Brighton versus Chelsea.
Yeah, I saw something about this. Obviously, they lost 2-1, but I saw someone post a tweet about should Maresca be in a better position than he is with the squad and the money he's spent.
I've got a question to every Chelsea fan listener. At the start of the season, I had a lot of messages of Chelsea fans going, "Oh, we're gonna reinvent Sancho. We're gonna show him what a real team's like." I just want to ask every single Chelsea fan that's out there, how's that going, and how good of a player actually is he? Because looking at him, he's doing donkey work, and he's just not there.
I mean, he's better at Chelsea than Kieran's camera just fell, and he just banged his knee on his table. That's all the noises you can hear in the background.
Ow.
I think he's in quite a bit of pain. Speaking of camera footage will be available at some point. We just need to have the balls to put it out there, but we don't at the moment. Yeah, I think Maresca should be in a better position than he is right now. I mean, they spent so much money. They've signed loads of people on to 9-year deals. I said it the other day. It sounds like Todd Bowley is trying to do what the owner of Richmond FC from Ted Lasso was doing at the start. Just trying to run them straight into the ground just to spite all of the Chelsea fans. And then it sounds like now he's sort of realised, oh, this actually means a lot to people. I better try and sign some players. And then he's just sort of, I don't even know, there's 9-year contracts. I mean, Cole Palmer on a 9-year contract? I get it, but what?
The way they've resolved signing too many players and the contracts is by signing more players on higher contracts.
Yeah, and they've just got rid of João Felix, who they've just spent 60-odd million on, and then they've just shipped him off back to AC Milan. I say back to AC Milan. I don't think he ever came from AC Milan,
But then over transfer window, they were looking at Garnacho, they were looking at Mainu,
now apparently they're looking at Luis Diaz. And I think if they go in for Luis Diaz and pay 150 million for him, Liverpool will take it. I don't think Diaz will, but
just think, to that player, that is 40 million a year guaranteed for the next century, which is 400 million in his back pocket.
Football now, though, for players seems like it's more of a business than it is a.
No, only at certain teams. Only at certain teams. Only at certain teams.
If Chelsea came in for you, if you were a decent footballer and Chelsea came in for you and offered you a 7-year deal at 200 grand a week, you'd snap their hand off.
You wouldn't even be on the bench every week either.
You just snap their hand off.
Just think, Enzo Fernandez, a £200 million player, is being left on the bench, starting Kiernan Dewsbury-Hall.
Yeah, that Enzo Fernandez, he had a good bit of a run, didn't he? After he split up with his girlfriend, and it was all over Twitter. And everyone was like, "Wow, he's become unbelievable now." But I don't think he's fantastic, to be honest. But I'm not a massive fan of Dewsbury-Hall either. I don't think he's very good.
Looking at the Chelsea team and the bench, then you look at their injury list, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7 of these players makes it into the first team. So when they come in,
I have a shout.
Where do they go?
Is Reece James on it?
No.
What? He's fit. Nicolas Jackson. I'll tell you who needs to be signed. That keeper who played in the Plymouth game yesterday.
What?
He was unbelievable.
No, but he's normally awful.
He was so good.
He had to go his life. Anyway, we just mentioned it. Let's mention the biggest game of the weekend.
Honestly, I watched the whole game. Plymouth deserved everything. Liverpool was so poor, and a lot of people put it down to the fact that they played kids. But when you looked at the side, there was like at least 5, if not 6 or 7 international players in it.
Okay. I'll quickly read some of the players. You got Kelleher, who starts a lot of games for.
Kelleher literally didn't really do anything wrong. To be fair, he made a few good saves.
You've got Timishkas.
Tsimikas was
Thank you.
okay, I think. The 2 players that stood out that were the worst, and I'm pretty sure you'll mention them in a minute, were Chiesa and Elliott. Both of them were so bad. Chiesa looked like he'd never played football before in his life. It was genuinely painful to watch. There was just no cohesion. And I saw people tweeting saying, "Oh, Salah literally did nothing in the Plymouth game. He literally didn't play," but people were just presuming he did. But no, Liverpool would.
Can I just mention Elliott?
Yeah. He was so bad.
I want to talk about the penalty.
What was he doing?
I think he thought he was playing netball. I turned it on. I turned the game on exactly when the penalty just before it got given. And I looked at my grandma, and my grandma said, "Did we turn on football or netball? But I've never seen that movie in football ever before." He's jumping like a little...
Yeah, I do think, because when he jumped, I was like, obviously it was a penalty, there was no disputing that, and there was never going to be any disputing that, because they were in an unnatural position. But then, like, when you are jumping, you do move your arms into the air, but you can't keep them in the air. You've got to put them, like, you don't put them, like, way above your head. You could put the still frame of him on a roller coaster and it wouldn't look out of play.
So, me and you have played football together many times, and me and you have both headed the ball next to each other many times. When have either of us headed the ball with our hands up in the air like on a roller coaster?
No, you just catch it and then just pretend that you've not handballed it.
No, normally my hands are in my pockets. So don't lie. I'm just looking. I didn't see the team. I just watched the game from the 50th minute, and seeing this Liverpool team, I feel like.
Do you think he gave up a bit?
I think that
Do you
team.
think he wasn't that bothered?
What, Harvey Elliott?
Slot.
Oh, Slot. He was. He was.
I think he wanted to win everything, but the team he put out seemed it could have been stronger. But then, having said that, the rest of the Premier League don't have a game on Wednesday, and Liverpool play Everton on Wednesday, so I can understand them resting some players for that.
Yeah, but if he wasn't bothered, why would he take off a defender to bring on Darwin Núñez straight after the penalty?
That's true, actually, because the guy he took off was the guy he brought on.
For Gomez
as well. Yeah.
And he
which
was
is a shame
because
Gomez is so useful because he's quick and he's a great backup at right back and centre back, and he's just been a bit unlucky to get injured. And one day he will score a goal.
That injury backup geezer, was his name Isaac Mabea? He was actually having a good game.
He looked okay, to be fair. He just looked like he held his own.
He looks like a Virgil van Dijk after Virgil van Dijk retired at Liverpool.
I think that's a bit too early to say that.
No,
in my opinion.
Him and Concha at the back. Sorry, him and Snapchat at the back were doing quite good.
He's just got aura. Kwanzaa's just got straight up aura. Right, we've spoke about the FA Cup for about half an hour.
There's one more game. There's one more game to mention.
Oh, come on.
And it is debut side versus debut side. I really hope you get one put down. Have you crashed, or you do not know? You don't know what I'm on about.
I just don't know what you're talking about.
Okay, so you got Milan, Rashford, and Asensio versus Tell. Villa versus Tottenham. Jesus Christ!
All of them seem to have a good game. Tell scored. But Tottenham
Milan
were just rubbish once again.
Was it Milan?
Who's Milan?
Their new striker. What's his name? The guy they got from Dortmund.
Oh, Marlon.
I call him Milan. I call him Milan for the.
Milan has an I in it, then.
Like, because I'm thinking of the cricket Dawid Malan.
I would love to see Dawid Malan up front for Villa.
What, and then
He
Malan,
makes
and then the other geezer
cricket look so easily.
What, just swap him out for a game? Dawid Malan
Yeah.
playing for Villa, and then Malan playing for... Oh, who do you play for?
England.
Okay, so how do you think Villa versus Tottenham went?
I didn't watch it. I just kept looking at the tweets from Paddy Power, which are always a good laugh. I think Villa have a very, very good manager, and they obviously know what they want. They've obviously signed, three, 4 players in January, and
Rashford, Asensio, Malan.
I think Asensio is a bit of a strange one, but he's got that creative spark, that could change the game.
Asensio's been a rumour since the 1st of the January.
Yeah,
It's just one of them. It's one of the things that happened. Rumours at the start, happens at the end.
I'm interested to see Rashford because obviously I think it's no secret that he is a poor trainer. I think Amorim really exposed that. But I think you can be a poor trainer and still a good footballer.
Also, question: where's Watkins?
I actually have no idea. I think he'll be at Arsenal by the end of next year. Personally.
Yeah, but if you want to sell him, you still have to play him. To get the most money out of him, you still have to play him. And that's one thing I haven't heard anyone say. You've signed Rashford, you've signed Asensio, you've signed Donil. I call him Donil because I can't say his name. Milan. The Dortmund geezer. Where's Watkins going into that side if you want to make the most money of him?
Well, because they lost Duran, they might try and keep Watkins for as long as possible, but I think he'll go eventually.
He'll go, but where is he going to go in that side to get the most money out of him? You need to use him to get the money out of him. It's like Tony in Brentford. Brentford still use him to get the most money out of the Saudis.
Yeah, I think that's enough about the FA Cup and the decisions and what we think of Aston Villa and Marcus Rashford. And now we will move on. And offside and Harry Maguire's terrible goal. Now we will move on to cricket. Cricket time! You have some notes on the one-day internationals from England.
Do you want to start with the Thursday game, or do you want to go to the Sunday game? Or do you want to talk about both of them?
We'll start with the Thursday
afterwards?
game that we didn't speak about. We'll start with the Thursday game.
Okay. So I'll give you the scores and everything on the doors first, and then we can talk about it.
Okay.
Okay. So, England decided to bat first, I think. They got 248 all out. Highest scorer was Butler.
48?
52 of 67 deliveries.
I mean,
yep.
248 is not good enough.
That's nowadays like a T20 score, isn't it?
And realistically, all of the games the short format games we played against India, every batter has batted. And that shouldn't be the case. ODIs, you should be, if you get a decent target, going in around 7 down. And in T20s, probably the same, maybe even less.
If you look at the team of batting people, there's only one change from like the T20s, I think, and it was the Root in for... I can't remember who he came in for.
I think Root was a good change, and it paid off because he got a 50 in the.
Whoa, that's the second game. We're still talking about the first game, Brad. In his first game, he got 19 or 31, which is good for your first game into the England side, especially when
that's fine. Like,
it's fine.
You don't expect him to
especially when
score
he'd only been
quicker than that.
He'd only been with the team 2 days before the game as well, because he'd been in Paarl in South Africa.
Oh right, yeah.
He played a game he played a game like 3 days before.
Yeah, he was whacking
for
T20
Paarl.
balls.
So like, he was carrying them, because look, as soon as he left Paarl, look how badly they did. They like winning every game didn't even go to the final, I think. But yeah, so standout bowler was Jadeja and Rana. Jadeja most shot there, is he?
Jadeja, he's quality, and he's a very good all-round cricketer. One of the best fielders I've ever seen.
The stats from him: 3 wickets off 9 overs, hit for 26 runs with 1 maiden. Which is just.
But that's the thing that England. I would like to say that's the thing that England don't have, but we've got the best spinner in the world, arguably, with Adil Rashid. But then our other spinner is Livingston, and he's very hit and miss. But he's handy to have with the bat, and he's handy to have with his off spin and his leg spin. It's useful.
In the first game, he wasn't handy, was he?
But yeah, exactly. You're not going to expect him to bowl 10 overs for 6 and over. You're going to expect him to bowl 10 overs at 8 and over.
Also, you're forgetting that England's best spinner, the man who changes form, just changes reaction. It does look like Sunday League action now, but that's Joseph Root. His action now is.
He changed his action.
Honestly, in your own time, look at his action. His action for Paarl was amazing. He's bowling Sunday League spin.
I mean, if it works, it works. And if it doesn't, see you later.
It doesn't work. It doesn't work. He bowled 1 over and hit for 10, I think it was, in the first game.
I saw that Australian bloke who was bowling seam. He took a wicket with seam and then he bowled spin later on.
But that's just Australia. That's what they used to do. That's what. That's what they do. Like, they bowl 5 over seam, and if they need just bring in a bowler, they just bowl the same geezer, just make him do spin. That's what they do.
Because tall spinners are scary for batters because they get turn and bounce. That's why they're.
Yeah, but it doesn't always work, does it?
No, but
I know some tall people that can't spin a ball.
We don't have enough good spinners. We've got one decent one. Moeen needs to come back and play cricket forever.
Okay, now let's talk about India, that game. Obviously, they won. They got 251 off 6, but only in 38 overs, 38.4 overs.
They've got some very, very quality batters, haven't they? Some very
They've got quality
batters.
And Jaiswal wasn't even their best one that day.
But the thing is,
it was Gill.
Every time we play India, they'll obviously, because we don't play them every year. We play them almost every 2 years, or even maybe every 3 years. Every time we play them, they have a brand new player I've never heard of, who's just hitting tons or taking loads of poles.
In the T20, it was Bishnoi.
The amount of quality cricketers they have is unheard of. It's ridiculous that they can just swap out one person and bring in someone who's just basically the same and just so good. And that's why I think it's so hard to get in the India side, because they've got so many good cricketers. And it's partly why the IPL is so popular.
Before the T20, did you ever know... True. IPL. Before the T20, have you ever heard of Bishnoi?
No.
And he won 2 games for them as well. So it's just getting ridiculous. I think India should get checked out.
The gulf of talent in the Indian side is very, very good.
Okay, let's
The
move
gulf
to the
of talent
Sunday
in the
game.
England side is not good enough.
The gulf of talent in the England side is
It's not there.
Rocky Flintoff.
Rocky Flintoff reminds him of Freddie Flintoff.
Okay, so the Sunday ODI, it was a lot better. And England hit 304 all out. Nearly using
First
all
time
the
we've hit
balls.
300 then. Yeah, move on to the Sunday ODI.
Yeah, so Duckett 65, Root 69, and Adam Rashid hitting a lovely 14 of 5 balls.
I mean,
And of course,
we hit
3 wickets again.
We hit 304. What was it? 304.
304 all out of 49.5 overs.
So we almost used all the overs, but we still didn't. And how many did they get in reply?
308 of 44 overs for 6 again.
It's just a demolishing. Every time it's a demolishing. And I know we're playing in India, and I know we're not the favourites, but I still feel if we were playing in England, it wouldn't make any difference whatsoever.
Also, you know what you mentioned about different players savouring the games?
Yeah.
Rohit Sharma.
He was
There's
quality.
one name, Rohit Sharma.
He's always been quality.
He's just a player, isn't he? He's a player.
He's just a player.
He's a player.
He picks length so well. And he's got the power.
You know what?
I got the power!
You know what was said? What was said on Sunday at my training session?
Go on.
Someone called for a reshuffling.
I think that's a good one.
But the reshuffling
I said it on the last
wasn't very
episode.
good.
I don't think having Brendan McCullum as white ball coach is a good idea.
Because Banton's in for the next one, isn't he?
Banton's been brought in, which I don't particularly mind. I'm not his biggest fan, but he does a job.
I know one man.
And we've got no to lose because we can't win the series.
There's one man they're very happy about that. I know that.
So we spoke about the ODIs.
I have a topic that I forgot to mention in the last podcast that I would quickly like to bring up. It's like a 5-minute chat, if you don't mind. Still about cricket.
Okay, go on.
The 2024 ICC Men's Test Team of the Year. And I saw this on my Instagram For You page. And I was shocked.
I'm interested now. Oh.
So it's 11 players, and I want to hear, out of 10, how surprised you are that they're in the 2024 Test team.
10 being utterly surprised, 1 being not surprised at all.
Yeah, so 10 being, why the hell are they in there? Like, oh my god.
Okay.
1 being, yeah, they deserved it. I can tell you the first one's already a 1, like he deserved it.
Okay.
I can't say his first name, but Jai Swell.
Yeah. Yeah. 3.
3? Oh, he's a 1 for me. He deserved that after the Test series we had against him last year.
Okay, 2.
Okay, 1.
I'll be nice to him.
Number 2. I'm shocked about this one because there's like Australians or literally other opener for India. But no, it's Benjamin Duckett.
I don't think that's a surprise at all, really. I thought you were going to say Duckett. He's been great. He's had a good average. You know what you're getting from him? He never likes to leave the ball. He loves to hit the ball.
He does have a 100% hit rate, doesn't he?
I'm going to only go 4, maybe 3, in fact.
The reason I mentioned this, I did it with my mates at cricket on Sunday, and he's a 10 for me.
No. What, Duckett?
I expected like Smith or someone.
Smith is not an opener, though.
Yeah, but the next 2 kind of are 1 to me. So number 3 is Kane Williamson.
That's fine. He deserves to be there.
And then I would have swapped these 2 around. I would have put Williamson at 4 and Joe Root at 3. But yeah, they've got Joe Root at 4.
Joe Root deserves to be there. That's a 0.
And then Joe Root's best mate in the field, Harry Brook.
Harry Brook deserves to be there.
There's so many English players that I'm actually shocked about, but the next guy is, I can't say anything about him because I don't ever watch him play. It's Kemindu Mendes from Sri Lanka.
Kemindu Mendes is the one who played for Sri Lanka, and he was quality. He played his first few games in England, and he averaged like 80. He looked really good, and then he went abroad. Well, he went back to Sri Lanka and started playing again, and he just kept his form up. So I'm not surprised really about him there.
Is he the one that was standing up to Anderson? Not like thingy, but like the one that just like kept like attacking every ball. He was, like happily like swinging.
Maybe he came in at 8, like in the first game we played, and then he started batting really well, and then they bumped him up the order. But he was good. He looked quality. So I'm not surprised at that one.
Okay, so the next guy's a wicket keeper. And if I say cricket keeper of 2024, who would you say?
I mean, Jamie Smith had a good year, but it's not going to be Jamie Smith, I don't think.
That wasn't my question. My question was, who do you think it is? Not should be there.
Is it Jamie Smith?
Yeah.
Is it? Wow.
Yeah.
I'm slightly surprised at that.
Because someone in my team said the Indian keeper, and I put his name. He's in my head, but I can't remember his name. Pardon?
Rishabh Pant.
That's it. But then he's also an opener, so...
He is rubbish.
Yeah. Sorry, not about someone. Someone put Rakeem Corman as keeper.
Yeah, deserved. Get him in. 0-0.
Okay, so the next guy is the captain.
The captain?
Of the team. The captain of the team. The steerer of the ship. The leader of the pack. Have you got any guesses?
Pat Cummins.
Batting 9. And the captain of the ICC Men Test Team of the Year is Patrick
Deserved. Good lad. As a Englishman, I don't particularly like him, but you can't argue that he's pretty quality.
He bats too low. He bats too low for Australia.
What do you mean he bats too low?
He bats at 9 and he's a great batter.
Do you remember when Mark Wood bowled that ball at him and he never even saw it? And he was trying to get his bat down in time, and it was his thigh pad when it hit him on the front pad.
Yeah, but you always see him with like a 40 or a 50 at 9. Can you guess number 10? The second seed bowler.
Jasper.
He's 11. I'll give you that.
Yeah, he's quality. What nationality?
Guess.
It'll have to be a spinner because we've not had a spinner.
He played in 2024 and he made it into the ICC Team of the Year. And it's Test as well, I can tell you that.
Is it? Oh.
And no, it's not Siraj.
I'm glad. I hate Siraj.
And no, it's not Hazelwood.
Is it a spinner?
No.
No? What, so there's no spinner in the squad?
Fast, but there's Joe Root.
Oh yeah, sorry.
You can never forget Harry Brook.
Can't disrespect Rooty like that.
Bowling. There's Harry Brook bowling something. Me that looks like Steve Smith.
I don't know, you have to put me out of my misery.
He is very good at getting Joseph Root out.
No, you have to tell me.
He has 2 first names in his name.
Just tell me!
It's Matt Henry.
Yeah, he's pretty quality. Yeah, he's good. Got about the New Zealand.
But yeah, that's the 2024 Team of the Year. It's like...
I wouldn't have said that was particularly surprising, to be fair.
The
only one the one I was most surprised at was probably Jamie Smith.
The one I was most
but then again, I don't really know
was...
who else could have been there.
The one I was most surprised at was Mendes, but I didn't know who it was. And then Matt Henry at number 10. I thought, there's better bowlers out there. Like Hazelwood,
But were there
maybe.
better bowlers in the year?
Hazelwood. Or
Matt Henry had quite a good year, didn't he?
Siraj. Or Wokes. Or Wood. Even though there is already 4 English people there, so it's kind of like a bit. Yeah. Anyway, let's move on to the Yorkshire Sunrisers.
I think we skipped that.
No, because it is the first. It's the first.
We did half an hour
100
FA
team.
Cup. We've done half an hour cricket.
Yeah, but it's like a 2-minute chat about the first 100 team to sell the whole 100%.
I don't really know how it's going to go. There's obviously going to be. I think there's probably going to be a lot more marketing now. And they did market the 100 really well, to be fair to them. But I think with the sort of the IPL influence that's going to come, there'll be a lot more marketing, a lot more sponsors. And I don't know. I'm quite excited for it, though, because I think it'll really push the 100. And I'm not a massive fan of the 100. I'd rather them just pump that amount of money into the T20 Blast. But if the 100's here to stay, then it's quite entertaining. And it's done a lot for women's cricket in that regard. The fact that you can buy a ticket in both games does do a lot for women's cricket in that regard. And the prize money is exactly the same for both the men and the women. And as it should be, because they bring in the same crowd. They bring in the same ticket sale.
Also, the next team expected to sell 49% would be Nottingham Trent. And there's 2 people still going after them. And one of them is an Indian team. It doesn't say who it is. But the other person, which I just find really, really funny, and I feel like I don't know what they'd be called if they do it. And it's Evangelos Mariankis, the Forest owner. And he announced
The
that
Forest owner?
The Forest owner going after the Trent Rockets. And I just think that would be really cool if he went after them last year, and then after all the takeovers, he's gone back in for them. So he's one of those 2 people going after them. So imagine if it's the Sunrisers.
Does he just want to take over Nottingham?
He brought the biggest building 2 years back. I'm pretty sure he is, yeah. But
you just want to become the mayor of Nottingham or the dictator of Nottingham. It's going to be its own country, its own state.
It's not Robin Hood. Not Robin Hood, the sheriff.
No, because he is rich. He would be giving himself away to the poor. If he was Robin Hood, wouldn't he?
But you're saying it's now like the Yorkshire Sunrisers, something
Robin Hood
Kings. But there's
since
we've
just sidetracked onto Robin Hood. Robin Hood is a bit of a paradox, isn't it? Because he gives from the rich, he takes from the rich and gives to the poor. But when he takes from the rich, they become poor. And when he gives to the poor, they become rich. So then he's just in an endless cycle of giving and taking for the rest of his life. So now, talking money. We're going to talk about the Darts Premier League and specifically early predictions. So obviously the first week happened and Luke Humphries won it. Who do you think is going to win the whole thing?
It's a really boring answer, but Littler isn't Littler this year. Today he just got knocked out of the champion thing, 6-2 by someone. I can't remember who they were playing. So I think
he got knocked out 6-3 by. Oh, I can't remember, but yeah.
This year, the Player Championship he got by Joe Cullen. That's a name for the past.
Joe Cullen made the final though. The semi-final, sorry.
Yeah.
No, the final.
But this year, the PDC Premier League is going to be won by Luke Humphries.
You think?
Yeah.
I think it's always going to be between Humphries and Littler, isn't it? But
Littler's not Littler this year though.
on his day, and we both said this before the start, Chris Dobie, I think he's a man who loves the big stage. People like Bunting love the big stage and show that they love the big stage. But Dobie and even Cross on his day is one of them people that's just such a game player and so hard to beat.
Yeah, but how's
so
Dobie going to do when he has to play Humphreys in the first round? He kind of had like an easy-ish round to the final.
He did have an easy-ish round, didn't he? Well, Cross is always a tough opponent, but Price is not where he used to be.
I watched the Price versus Dobie game at work. Not here at work. At work. And Price, watching him throw off, and then he fell asleep at work. Like, Jesus Christ, it was like that. It's like watching like School of Darts.
Paint dry.
Watching School of Darts.
Who would your pick be to be finished last?
Price. I have a list here of my expected. I have my expected 1 to 8, and it goes Humphreys, Van Gerwen.
Yeah, I've got Humphreys top 2.
Humphreys, Van Gerwen, Littler.
I've got Humphreys, Littler, Cross.
Mine would Bunting, Cross.
I would go Humphreys, Littler, Cross, Van Gerwen, Bunting, Aspinall, no, Dobie, Price, Aspinall.
I'm just shocked that Chris Dobie made it to the final in that. But then seeing his road to the final.
He knows what he's doing, though. He's good.
Chris Dobie was definitely the player of that day. He definitely had the throw, and he definitely was the player of that day. On Thursday. Let's go Bunting mental. Let's go Bunting mental.
Let's go Bunting mental.
Okay. Have you got anything else to say about darts?
No, we literally spent about 2 seconds on it.
And it's literally all we have to talk about.
All we have to talk about. Now, it's Super Bowl time!
Super Bowl 59. Bowl 59. Super Bowl 59.
Well, Super Bowl, it was just... It was basically just one massive proposal crashing from the Philadelphia Eagles to Travis Kelce and Taylor Swift. Because that was what it was going to be.
I disagree.
Everyone was just waiting for the 49ers. Is it the 49ers? No, the Chiefs.
We'll start off with the two teams, yeah. So we've got the Kansas City Chiefs, which Patrick Mahomes and Travis Kelce play for, and we're on for a three-peat for the first time, for their first ever Super Bowl side to win three Super Bowl back-to-back. And they're playing the Philadelphia Eagles, which Travis Kelce's brother used to play for until he retired last year, or 2 years ago.
Riverside FM.
But Philadelphia Eagles is their second ever Super Bowl win. And it's the second time they've beat a Super Bowl to a team trying to do the three-peat.
The second time.
It's the second time they've beat a team trying to do a three-peat. And the first team they beat doing it was a man that you will know even in American football, Tom Brady. Tom Brady leading his
New England Patriots.
Yes. And it's
good riddance.
Basically, what Philadelphia Eagles did was they watched the Super Bowl 4 years ago when it was Brady versus Mahomes, the Buccaneers versus Kansas City Chiefs. They basically watched, if you take out Patrick Mahomes from the game, the Kansas City Chiefs aren't there. So basically, they took out Patrick Mahomes, made him scared and nervous and took him out of the game.
He had a bad game.
No, but he didn't know because in front of him he had 2 injury players that couldn't play. So there were 2 people playing out of position, and he just got 6 sacks. He got 6 sacks that game. Yeah. That he just was unlucky, and the Eagles did their homework that
day. Yeah. I don't know anything about American football, but I watched the highlights and I kept looking at the score, and it just looked very one-sided and boring.
I got a message off my friend that night, and he went, "Please can you explain this in football terminology?" So you ready?
Go for it.
I put it down as the Philadelphia Eagles are Man United because they're an older team with history and weren't doing very well until they went into the final. And the Kansas City Chiefs are Man City, a team winning a lot at the moment and doing well, big players.
We're not talking current Man City, we're talking
last year Man City.
Quadruple winning Man City, yeah.
Yeah, last year Man City. And Man United last year.
So is it basically a rematch of the FA Cup final?
Yeah, but it's the FA Cup final if it finished 8-4.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah. And then it's man of the match going to Bruno Fernandes with Jalen Hurts being the MVP of the game, because he had one of the best games I've ever seen in football history. Take away Tom Brady.
Football? You mean American football?
Still says football, mate.
It's not
but yeah,
football.
I know one thing you want to talk about, which I absolutely hated because I've seen better. I think it's the worst. I've watched Super Bowl for 10 years, and it has to be one of the worst Super Bowl halftime shows I've ever seen. But let me just say one thing before I get hate mail from you and everyone else. I don't really like Kendrick Lamar and his music. So
okay, I agree with that. I'm not a massive fan of Kendrick Lamar either. But I tell you I don't like Drake.
Oh yeah, actually, to be fair, calling Drake a paedophile in front of a whole... Do you think the Super Bowl is something all of America watch? Literally, they shut things down to watch the Super Bowl. They show it on every single billboard, every pub. Every pub shuts early, or you can watch it in there a lock-in in America. And so to do it at halftime show, which every wag or woman will watch, and make the men watch, to call Drake a paedophile in front of everyone there.
Phenomenal.
It's phenomenal, and I want to see Drake's response to it. I feel that could be proper rapper beef.
The thing I saw about Drake is he made that advert, which he does every year. He does the same thing every year, and he says, "I've spent all this money on this, so here's just buy my Yeezys."
Yeezy the Kanye West, mate.
Ah! I knew I was going to make that mistake. I get them mixed up.
Kanye West is the one with Bianca Del Story.
Kanye West is the one that we're not allowed to talk about because he's cancelled.
No. Whoa. He's the one that forces his wife to wear see-through dresses.
I thought you were going to say he's not cancelled then. Kanye West is very, very cancelled.
But Kanye West has done
he's cancelled.
He's cancelled, but there's one thing. I still listen to Kanye West music. I would never listen
Why?
to Runaway. I listen to Runaway. I have played
No. You shouldn't listen to his music. I listen to Michael Jackson's music, but Michael Jackson wasn't proved. Michael Jackson didn't have a Twitter platform where he just basically said he was Hitler.
Yeah, but the one thing that Michael Jackson did do, he kidnapped a monkey.
What? Where has this come from? This is not real.
He kidnapped a monkey.
He kidnapped a monkey?
just think, what are you going to do? How did that monkey say yes?
Right,
Oh.
the way you phrase kidnapping means that the monkey must have had... He must have taken it from the monkey's parents, and the parents of the monkey reported it.
Yeah, but just think, there's people out here going like, we boycott zoos because they kidnap animals. But it's fine if, like, Mike Tyson has a tiger.
But Mike Tyson loved that tiger.
I'm sure the zoos love their lions, but just that there's people cutting them free and they're nearly dying. Did you see the place
That's true.
Did you see the place in Asia with the zoo and the woman cut the lion enclosure open, they got eaten by the lion?
No, that's horrible.
It's her own fault. She cut the lion free because lions shouldn't be locked up, and they got eaten by a lion. It's just amazing.
Well, maybe lions should be locked up then.
What, go to prison? Sorry, Mr. Lion, you're going to prison for one count of murder.
We went so off track. We were talking about the Super Bowl and ended up talking about Michael Jackson stealing the monkey. Yeah, that was way off topic. We weren't talking about that. We were talking about the Super Bowl.
Super Bowl chat. Question.
Go on.
Because I heard this at the end of the thing. Do you think, because in 2025 there are going to be all these around the world NFL games, such as Dolphins going to Madrid, Steelers going to Dublin.
The NBA have gone to Paris.
Yeah, but there's like all these NFL games. And then like there's all like these like there's an Australian player in the Eagles. There's Lewis Rees-Zammit who failed in the NFL. There's a Dolphins player who's from London. One thing they're trying to do, they're trying to expand the NFL worldwide. Do you think their target is by 2030 to have a game in 4 countries in a season? Do you think they're going to manage to do that?
I don't see why not.
Because they have games in...
They've already... The thing is that, they've done it in the UK before. And I would even go as far to say that it won't be long before the Premier League might start doing that.
They're not. Premier League's never doing that.
Why?
Maybe like FA Cup will.
FA Cup? No one cares about the FA Cup.
No, but doing the Premier League in like Athens when it's like Man United versus Brighton.
That's what they might do. The Premier League might just put the big games in other countries. They might genuinely do that.
No, they should keep them at home. The NFL is different.
I agree. We should keep them at home, but it won't be down to us, will it? As 2 random blokes. It'll be down to the people in the high chairs with all the money. And if America come calling and say, we'll give you 400 million to have 4 Premier League games in our country, they'll go, yeah, we'll take that because I want 400 million.
It's not just down to us who are doing a failing podcast. It's down to the fans. And like Steve from Redgate, who has a season ticket at United, isn't going to go all the way to Philly to watch a game.
No, exactly. But then, do you expect all the people who are Man United fans that live in America to go all the way to Old Trafford to watch their team play?
No, start watching.
Exactly.
So
why is it not slightly fair that they can maybe move it about a bit? Football is a global sport. NFL is a global sport.
It's different.
Why?
I've got one question for you.
Why is it any different?
Question.
No, I want to know your answer.
Yeah, my answer is going to be followed by a question. Football.
Well, answer first. Don't ask me the question.
Football, yeah. There's England, there's America, there's Australia, there's Ireland, there's Czech Republic, there's Croatia. NFL. Is there any international teams?
But not to my knowledge.
Exactly. Are there any professional? I know there's like Birmingham Phoenix NFL team. Are there any like professional NFL teams anywhere around
I get
the world?
what you're saying.
Before moving like Premier League games around the world, like football's already a worldwide sport. NFL, that's what they're trying to do. They're trying to expand, maybe at like NFL UK to make that bigger. Actually, get like an actual league first. before doing anything, but expanding it to like Madrid, Australia, Ireland, already in England, but like
it's
other places.
basically only America that I think the Premier League would go and have a game in. There's nowhere else because everywhere else has got their own domestic league. But America's got the MLS, obviously, but no one cares about
Sergio
it.
Busquets, Jordi Alba, Xavi. They have the other guy, I can't remember his name.
Yeah, but
Luis Suarez.
They have massive Premier League like fan parks, don't they? Where they watch Premier League games. There's a huge Premier League following in America, so I can't see why in the future at some point. I'm not for it, but why will they not? Maybe if they're offered enough money, play some Premier League games in America.
Yeah, but then it all comes down to what Premier League games are they going to take over there? Are you going to take like a Liverpool Arsenal, Liverpool Man United game, or are you going to take?
I tell you one that you could take over there with very little consequence. Play the Community Shield in America. Because the Americans will think it's a massive trophy that loads of people care about, and the players can just turn up and play in a stadium in a different country with loads of different fans. It'll get a lot of viewership in America. If you advertise it as something massive, then it'll happen. We don't care about the Community Shield in the UK.
When was the last time you actually watched the Community Shield final?
Exactly. I don't know.
But also, you said Premier League games over there. Community Shield is basically like what I said, moving like the FA Cup or like one of them games over there.
No, because the FA Cup is a domestic competition.
You know what you do? Take the what's it called now? Like the Virtue Trophy or the...
Oh! Get Chesterfield into Pittsburgh or wherever, and we're going mental.
Chesterfield versus Peterborough in fucking...
We're all going on a North American tour. A North American tour. A North American tour.
I swore, sorry. Get Peterborough versus Chesterfield in Miami.
Oh, get me on the beach, and then I want to see Will Griggs tan by the end of the time he's finished.
It could be worse. You could go to like... what's the place to get all the shooting is? Chicago.
Detroit,
yeah.
Oh.
Game in Detroit.
Detroit is rough, man.
You get geese
Let's
from
go Pistons,
Peterborough
baby.
in Detroit. Get geese from Peterborough in Detroit.
It wouldn't last 2 minutes.
That would be the most shooting Detroit ever had in one day.
Well, because of your strikers are so bad. And with that clanger, we'll end the podcast.
I'm going to kill you. If Toby Whiteley is dead, I'm saying his full name. If Toby Jonas Whiteley...
Jonas? What, like the Jonas Brothers?
Sorry. If Toby Jonah Whiteley is dead...
I'm just going to cut that, aren't I, then?
By the 17th of February, and there is no more Flibble or Flabble. Just
Dribble.
know, me, Callum Jones, killed him.
We would like to thank you all for listening to the second episode of Flibbleanddribble.
If you did listen
I've got a feeling from what we've just spoke about, it's not going to be quite as good as the first one.
If you did listen, thank you. If you got to here, please follow us on Instagram and DM us saying Rakeem Cornwall.
Good. I like that.
Also, because we didn't have a podcast last week, we would like to plug our Instagram. Is Flibbleanddribble. Any updates will be put on there.
Sneak peeks, maybe.
That's never happening because Toby does not have to do that.
Maybe next week, not next week, the week after, we're going to try and do a camera episode and put that on YouTube.
Maybe we'll get a guest on that will actually work episode.
Guest next week we're looking for. But yes, thank you so much for listening. Please follow all the socials. Subscribe on YouTube. Follow on Instagram. 5-star on Spotify.
5-star on Spotify.
5-star. And with that, it is a big thank you and a big goodbye from me, Flibble.
And a little goodbye from me, Dribble.
Adios, amigos.